Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, get ready, because we're about to really dig into a stack of sources today.
Yeah, we've got articles, research papers, all sorts of reports.
And they're all focused on how meditation is, well, it seems like it's fundamentally changing the game for athletes.
That's right. And our mission really is to unpack all this stuff, cut through any noise, and pull out what's actually important. Why are these top competitors using mindfulness?
For performance, focus, recovery. All of it. Think of this as your, essential guide to why sitting still is somehow making athletes, better, faster, stronger.
And it's fascinating. The sources jump right into this idea that athletic performance isn't just physical, is it?
No, not at all. The mental side, being in the zone, handling that intense pressure, staying calm, it's just as vital.
And this is where meditation comes in. The material basically frames it as mental strength training, like training the brain.
Exactly. And it's not just theory, right? The sources show hard science backing this up.
Oh, yeah. There was that big 2024 meta-analysis we looked at. It pulled together lots of studies.
Right, in Frontiers in Psychology.
That's the one. And it found mindfulness training gave a significant boost in actual competitive performance.
Wow.
And crucially, it also enhanced that sort of flow state, that total focus, and yeah, it dramatically reduced anxiety and stress.
Reducing anxiety and boosting flow, that's huge for any competitor. But didn't it get even more specific, like that 2025 study on fencers?
Absolutely, yeah. That scientific report study, that one's really compelling because it showed actual measurable physiological changes.
Okay.
So fencers who meditated, they had longer attention spans, their concentration was more stable, and importantly, their stress hormones like cortisol were lower.
Lower cortisol,
Yeah.
okay. That's a direct stress measure.
Exactly. And here's the really cool part. Brain scans. They showed more activity, specifically increased oxygenated hemoglobin in the prefrontal cortex during focus tasks.
Focus part of the brain.
Pretty much, yeah. Heavily involved in focus and executive function. So it's not just a feeling, it suggests it's actually changing brain function related to attention.
So the science is suggesting it literally, kind of, rewires the brain for better focus and stress handling. That's pretty amazing.
It really is.
And does this work across different types of sports? Or is it just for, intense focus sports like fencing?
Well, the fencer study is specific, obviously, but other research mentioned in the sources found similar benefits elsewhere. Team sports, like college and pro soccer players, showing more calm, better focus, less stress.
Oh, okay.
So the evidence seems to point towards it being broadly applicable, yeah.
Okay, so beyond just performing better in the moment, these sources also talk a lot about recovery, which is, just as critical for any athlete.
It really is. And meditation seems to help athletes tap into the body's natural repair mode, the rest and digest system.
The parasympathetic system, right?
Exactly. Activating that consciousness.
And that shift does a lot. It helps lower those stress hormones again, that cortisol we mentioned.
Which hampers recovery if it stays high.
Right. And it improves sleep quality significantly. And we all know sleep is just non-negotiable for muscle repair, regeneration.
Totally. The sources even gave examples suggesting faster physiological recovery. Things like heart rate coming back down quicker after intense bursts.
Okay.
There was one really striking example with Olympic BMX riders. Reports suggested they showed calmer body language, even faster starts between races after mindfulness training, implying better recovery between those really intense sprints.
Wow, okay. So better performance, better recovery. How are athletes actually doing this? What techniques do the sources mention?
Right, the how. Well, standard mindfulness meditation is a big one. Just focusing on the breath or the body, noticing thoughts without getting carried away.
It's observing?
Yeah. And visualization, that's huge. Mentally rehearsing success. Skiers, basketball players, MMA fighters, lots of them use that.
Makes sense. And breathwork.
Simple, but super effective. Just controlled breathing, especially before a high-pressure moment, like a golfer over a putt or a basketball player at the free throw line. It quickly activates that calming parasympathetic system.
And what about the body scan?
Ah, yeah, the body scan. Bringing awareness to different body parts, noticing tension, letting it go. It's not just for relaxation, it helps recovery and builds body awareness.
Which could even help prevent injuries, presumably.
Essentially, yeah. better awareness of your body.
And these aren't just abstract techniques, right? The
Yeah.
sources link them to real-world examples.
Definitely. You see it at the highest levels. We saw the stuff about Phil Jackson, his legendary NBA teams, the Bulls, the Lakers.
11 championships.
Exactly. And he openly credited mindfulness as part of that success.
Or someone current, like Erling Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
He calls meditation his secret weapon, posts about it before big games.
Right. Or Novak Djokovic, known for his daily practice visiting temples during Wimbledon. It's clearly part of his toolkit for focus and resilience.
It shows it's not just a fad. These examples really drive home what the sources are saying. Meditation builds genuine mental toughness.
Yeah. Handling adversity, staying composed under pressure, finding that comfort in discomfort, as some put it.
And it's not just for game day either, is it? It helps manage the overall stress of being an athlete, life stress too.
Absolutely. And one last crucial area the sources touched on was injury recovery.
Oh, right. How's it help there?
Well, several ways. Helping manage pain, sort of changing the perception of pain, helping cope emotionally with being sidelined, which is tough.
Yeah, that must be incredibly frustrating.
For sure. And keeping mentally engaged through visualization during rehab. Plus, that body awareness we mentioned might even help prevent re-injury when they return.
So, okay, pulling all these sources together, it's pretty clear. Meditation isn't just like a nice calming exercise anymore.
No, it's presented as a fundamental tool, scientifically supported, for peak performance, for focus, for recovery in this incredibly demanding world of sports.
It really seems to have moved from the sidelines, maybe seen as a soft skill before, to being, well, essential, like strength training or nutrition for a lot of these elite athletes and teams.
Exactly. They're truly training the mind, not just the body.
And what this deep dive really underscores is just the incredible power of mental conditioning. And it's proven, where the stakes are highest.
Which really leads to a powerful question for you listening right now. If training the mind through meditation can unlock these kinds of benefits, performance, focus, resilience for elite athletes pushing their limits, what potential could it unlock in your own life, whatever your pursuits are?
Yeah, whatever challenges you face. Definitely something powerful to think about.